This is Fieldsports Channel News. BASC's letter-writing campaign about gun certificate fees is working. Following lobbying by constituents, some 44 MPs and members of the House of Lords have signed a letter against rises in shotgun licence fees and sent it to the Home Secretary. On the day the new fees came into effect, Wednesday the 5th of February, only 7 out of 42 constabularies had committed to guaranteeing that at least some of the funds they raise would go towards improving firearms licensing. The fees last rose in 2015.
Increasing efficiency and giving more money to firearms licensing was the government's reason for putting these fees up. However, the government has no power to insist upon police forces using this extra money for these fees. So consequently, what will happen is that there is no guarantee that certificate holders will get an increased service and better efficiencies for the massive increase in fees that they're expected to pay.
The Irish government has formed a national farmers co-op to help control deer numbers across the country. It awarded the tender for Deer Management Strategy Programme Manager to Farm Relief Services, backed by 15 local deer management units to be set up across the country. It plans to concentrate its efforts on deer densities in Wicklow, Tipperary, Waterford, Donegal and Galway. Campaigners have expressed disbelief as an animal charity funded by the taxpayer has partnered with a furry event where people wear themed fetish and erotic suits. According to the Daily Mail, Saving Wildcats, a collaboration between the Royal Zoological Society of Scotland and SNP government agencies such as NatureScot, is the official charity of ScotiaCon, a convention held annually in Glasgow, attended by around 1,200 furries, dressed up as anthropomorphic creatures. In 2021, Saving Wildcats received $400,000 in funding from the Scottish Government. A former grouse moor, now owned by the RSPB, will become a Pennines paradise for nature. That's the claim in a post designed to raise funds for the conservation organisation. The bird charity says it's already achieved so much over the last 30 years at Geltsdale in Cumbria. Local critics of the project point to the loss of rare species on the site, including hen harriers, black grouse and red squirrels, since the RSPB took over the moor in the late 1990s. In 2006, Geltsdale was taken off Natural England's list of known breeding sites for hen harriers. 2 years later, Natural England found it had the lowest population of moorland birds in the North Pennines, below all the nearby managed grouse moors where shooting continues. The RSPB says we are now able to go bigger and better. Locals point out the charity couldn't do any worse. BASC has put out a film showcasing its relationship with the media. In the film on YouTube, BASC press officers talk about their roles advising the media on the benefits that shooting sports bring to conservation. And there's a shout out for BASC from Sky News political editor Martin Brunt. Scottish First Minister John Sweeney has ruled out the legal introduction of lynx into the wild in Scotland. At the NFU Scotland conference, Mr Sweeney said the reintroduction of lynx or any other carnivorous species would not take place under his government. Campaigners have been working on plans for the controlled reintroduction of the cats to benefit rural biodiversity, but farmers have raised concerns about the impact they would have on livestock. Meanwhile, a farmer in Norway took the law into his own hands and shot a lynx that had been taking his goats. The farmer used the Section 28 emergency self-defence right for livestock to shoot the animal. Thanks to Neil Rowntree and Per Helmseth for the story. A German has died in an elephant attack in India. The incident, filmed by a passenger on a local bus, took place in the South Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Michael Jürgen, aged 77, a tourist from Germany, riding a motorbike, tried to pass the elephant, even though locals were shouting at him not to. The animal turned on him and pushed him off the motorcycle. Passers-by took him to hospital for first aid. After transfer to a larger local hospital, he died without responding to treatment, says the local forest department. Thanks to Rajiv Matthew for the story. US hunter Craig L. Kaufman has brought out his memoir. Craig takes the reader in pursuit of big game in destinations around the world. Called An Unexpected Journey, with a nod to the Hobbit films, the book is a catalogue of hunting adventures.
Well, I've had a chance to hunt the world for almost 40 years, and during all my journeys, I kept journals all along the way. So I had a whole history of my diaries from early 1990s to current, and all that information was really good genesis to create a book like this.
And finally, a heartwarming story. BASC has donated camera equipment to a charity which provides filmmaking and multimedia training for youngsters in South Wales. In a deal brokered by Fieldsports Channel, the gift included video and audio equipment no longer used by BASC's media team, but which still has an appreciable value as an educational tool. The equipment will get a new lease of life with Cymru Creations, a not-for-profit company which specialises in media and history-themed community activities. One of its flagship projects is the Blaenau Gwent Film Academy, which teaches film skills to children and young people.
The way we make our films has changed a lot over the last few years, so we needed to find a new home for some of our film equipment. We're absolutely delighted that Cymru Creations could give it a new lease of life, and we're so pleased to be able to help the filmmakers of the future.
You are up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.